Hello everyone, and welcome back to Senpai's Dojo, maybe? I don't know. We're not sitting here and trying to discuss or review anime today. We're just going to discuss life, and might rename this. I don't know. I'm not the host. Oh wait, I am. I am your host. I am Brad Senpai, your hostess with the mostest. And with me, my non-co-host, because my actual co-host is dead to me. He's doing finals, so maybe he is actually dead. Who knows? But I have returning for another time, Gammy! Say hi.
What's up? Yo.
And then we have the deserter. Everyone just give him shit in the chat, in the comments,
Boo.
whatever you want to. Yeah, boo! We have Eric!
Hey.
Boo! You get no words.
Boo. No. No cheers.
Yep, absolutely none whatsoever. You're dead to us. All of us.
It's cold.
This-
It's lonely.
This is your penance. So, how's everyone's week going?
It's got its ups and downs.
I was about to say nobody cares about you. You desert us.
Oh.
Well, I'm sorry. Somebody's too slow to speak up.
I asked y'all how y'all were doing, so therefore, I can't sit here and talk about my week yet.
Yeah, I'm getting my car fixed.
Yay.
So it's costing a fortune, but
Oh shit.
the TT will be back.
Yeah, what ended up happening to it? Because, you know, you don't keep me in the loop anymore. I'm so sad. I'm up here by myself all alone.
Oh, I was having overheating issues.
Oh shit.
And but it wasn't overheating. I didn't have a way to test the engine heat, to see how hot the engine was. But it turned out to just be a sensor that's bad, which is not a big deal. But I've had a gas leak that we all know about, and it turns out that it's from my tank, and a replacement tank was going to cost me $3 grand.
Oh shit.
But yeah, but that was a new tank. But he worked this something out with me, so
Foreign cars
only-
for you.
Yeah, but the part was it wouldn't be that big a deal to me necessarily, but it's pretty dangerous. He says he's surprised my car hasn't caught on fire yet, because the gas leak is over the muffler,
Oh shit.
and yeah, so he stressed to me how important was that was fixed or else death. So,
This was the mechanic that was stressing you how important it was fixed.
not just him though. I had taken it and I got a full synthetic oil change, like the week prior, and they told me the same. They told me the same thing, how insanely dangerous it was to be driving it. And I was just getting an oil change. That's not something they could do.
Got a point.
Who are you
I mean-
using this mechanic?
He's this guy over by the country club. It's DTG something another. Let me here.
I'm just thinking back on all the guys that have never let you use work on my car. My dad never let you use work on his car.
It's TDG Automotive.
I have no clue who that is.
Yeah. He's cool. He knows his stuff, and he's willing to work on my German car. So
I just see German car. I know how that goes.
You
Yeah,
have
you-
an engineer.
yeah, you'd be surprised how many people don't want to work on them or don't know anything about them and won't work on them.
Oh, I'm honestly not surprised.
Nope.
So, y'all will never guess what I saw today at work.
Paint.
Well, that's a everyday occurrence.
Okay. Stains.
You see, now you're just all being smartasses. And I love you all for it, but, you know.
Trim. Saw a bunch of trim.
I mean, there's trim on the building, but I didn't actually see any legitimate trim today, no.
Okay. What would you see? What's going on?
Did
So,
you see the guy from YouTube that likes to say senpai a lot?
are you talking about me? Because, yes.
see
No,
the-
no, 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 no. Notice me, senpai.
Notice me. But no, so do y'all know what the car, the Morgan is?
The Morgan?
The what?
It's called a Morgan. Like, it's a really old car.
No, never heard of it.
No.
Let me pull this shit up because it looks amazing. Yeah, well, I'm trying to pull this up. So, Eric, explain how terrible your week was to us.
How terrible my week was.
Yes, because you said it has its ups and downs, so please explain to us how terrible it is.
Of course, you guys know I love my job, but it comes with its downs as well as its ups. And
Of course.
today just
Yeah.
so happened to be one of those days where it was like up and down at the same time, where you get a lot of practice and doing things that we actually do in the field instead of behind a computer screen or training in a controlled environment. And I just felt myself making more and more mistakes because there was too many people watching. I was focused more on what was going on around me and me not making a mistake that I ended up making more mistakes. I ended up having to stay over and work on it a little bit more.
Sometimes that's how it goes. Mistakes happen. It's life.
Yeah, but if you know me very well, I like to beat myself up over mistakes that are clearly easily made.
Dang, you saw that car?
Oh yeah, dude was driving it to the store today, and it was legit.
Holy cow.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my god, that is amazing. 'Cause I've always thought it'd be cool to see one in person.
If my child wasn't using my phone, I would totally be looking at it, but I can take your word on how beautiful of a car it was.
It's sick, man.
And here's the thing, the dude's car was a 2001, but he was showing us pictures of the 39s, and it's identical.
Really?
Yeah, like, these cars are legit, and they're all, like, there are only 2 electricians that work on them at the factory. Only 2. So if something fucks up, you have to go to that specific electrician, because they were, like, each serial number is registered to which one did it. So you have to go specifically to that one to get it figured out. I'm like, damn.
Dude, that's so classy, bro.
Yeah, so outside of that, my week has been great. Business has been decent. I had to walk on eggshells because my big boss was in town yesterday. That's
Oh,
always
nice.
lovely. But outside of that, my part-timer called me a hoe today.
That's cool.
Like, that's lovely. Way to talk to your superiors, who obviously doesn't give a shit.
Well, how old is your employee?
She's 19.
Yeah, she's part of that generation who really doesn't care and thinks that everything to her.
I mean, I'm a kind and benevolent God, so I'm not going to sit there and give her too much shit over it, because it honestly humored me.
It humored you to be called a hoe.
Obviously. I might as well relish in something that I'm not.
Touche.
I mean, I'm in the mountains of Georgia by myself, so therefore I need to relish in something.
You
Yeah.
want something water open?
So what's the stance on you possibly moving back up this way and taking your all of the fun stuff?
You see, that's going to be all dependent on whenever the Blue Ridge store decides to open. And that could be either quarter 4 of this year or quarter 1 of next year, depending. They're in the location scouting phase right now that I know of.
That's interesting. Honestly, I never expected to see. I mean, we've only had one of those stores forever, so.
Well, you say that, but that's only in Cleveland. The Chattanooga has 7.
Touche. Is it the #1 paint store to go to?
Of course. Sherwin is the largest paint distributor in the world at this point.
Me, personally, I'd probably just go to Home Depot.
Yeah, and Gammy's sister likes to go to Walmart, so we know that both of y'all are wrong.
Well, how often am I painting?
Megan was in Lowe's the other day, remember when I called you?
No.
But that's, I mean, the thing about Lowe's is though, you know, they do everything, so it's like a one-stop shop instead of specific. You know, if I'm looking for like really quality things, you know, I'm gonna stop in somewhere that, you know, has what I need.
See, like, I'm fine with people shopping at Lowe's, but whenever I hear Home Depot, that makes me cringe.
It's technically the same store.
No, it's not. Lowe's and Home Depot are
orange
two
and one's
completely
blue.
different stores. Lowe's is allowed to sell Sherwin-Williams, and Home Depot is not, so you make your own decisions on that.
Whichever one's closer is the one I'm going to.
Yeah, well, you have a Sherwin store closer to you, so I better not hear anything else come out of you, as far as Home Depot is concerned.
Well, the next time I need to buy a front door, I'm going straight to Sherman.
Please. And make sure it's a Cleveland store. Those bastards deserve as much hell as you can possibly give them.
Not a problem.
Wait, so what all does Sherman sell?
Well, we can sell paint and paint accessories.
Okay,
Oh, and
so
stains.
Well, that's...
but that's kind of what I'm
Considered a
saying
pain.
though, is like, you know, it's a lot of times it's easier for people to go somewhere if they need multiple things aside from paint.
I mean, you know, like I said, I totally get going to Home Depot or Lowe's if you got... Shoosh, I cannot join your party right now. I'm doing a podcast, so fuck off.
Tell them, Brad.
Speak of the devil, he messaged me too.
But no,
Who
I
is it?
can, it's Tyree.
Oh,
I mean, I reckon we could bring him in for the podcast.
you want an airplane?
Hang on, I'm a message him, but
Are you
His-
sure you want that though? I mean, he does, yeah. It does
His
sound
mic
like
is-
he's on an airplane.
then I'm telling him we're doing a podcast.
It's nothing against the guy,
No.
it's just he likes to play in front of a fan.
Join shortly. But yeah, so again, I get it. Just because everybody has like different needs that Sherwin cannot give,
Provide.
I guess. But if it's paint, go with a better choice. I'm doing something
Right.
wrong here. Like some sort of measurements are not adding up.
Well, Brad, how's the old truck running?
Old truck's running perfectly. Thank you for asking.
How many miles they got on it now?
119,000.
Oh, fuck you. You got such a steal out of that thing.
Oh, dude, trust me. I know. I'm very grateful that I got that thing for fucking 2,500. Because, like I said, at the time, it was booking for 56. So it was a good investment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. On another really cool note, I got out of doing jury duty.
You got
Yeah.
jury duty?
Well, I got out of going to jury duty.
Oh, you got out of it?
Yeah, I got summoned, and I was supposed to come into town this coming Tuesday. And my uncle walked up to the courthouse because he knew the lady who was over the jury selection. He was like, "Hey, so listen, Bradley, he doesn't live in the county
Did you
anymore."
just cuss?
He
Yes,
did. He did cuss.
only I can cuss at me that way. Okay.
Don't beat up on yourself. It's okay.
If I don't beat up on myself, then who's going to beat up on me?
I'm
Me.
pretty sure you got two guys here that'll totally do it for you.
Now, you see, we do enough of that on the reg, so I'd rather not have that happen here. It makes me hate my life more than I already do. I'm just now
Anyways,
hosting a
continue.
podcast. My lifelong dream is being affirmed, okay? Gosh. No, that's basically the end of the story. I don't think there's anything else to tell outside of Yeah, I managed to weasel my way out of jury duty just because I live in a completely, not only different state, but different county.
Yeah, I've been blessed with not having to go through that.
I've had to go once. I didn't have to serve, but
I mean, I was gonna.
but I had to go sit through and get my dates and stuff.
And granted, I have to be there enough as it is, but without giving away enough hints as to what I do for a living.
Yeah,
Always
we
question at the
know.
end of the show.
Oh, damn it! Since Norwood's not here, we don't have the damn game at the end. I'm gonna have to think of that before this podcast is over.
Oh, you got plenty of time.
I don't know. I got. Where's my dashboard? I got 37 minutes to come up with a game on top of sitting here and trying to finish this.
Damn it, Brad, you just made me lose the game.
damn
I
right.
lost the game now. I was at least like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
I
because
think
what?
that's why I skipped out.
Oh, was the baby upset that he lost the game?
Baby was very upset he lost the game.
Suck it suck.
So, you're lying April.
Oh my gosh. I fucking love it so much.
Yes, Eric needs to watch.
I
Said-
do. I will
said-
have
said-
it watched before next podcast.
Said Netflix and Crunchyroll animation.
Because I could sit here and just gush about this anime for hours.
Watch it. Get your girlfriend to watch it, or if you're a woman, get your man to watch it with you.
Either way, everyone is going to cry like bitches by the time it's all said and done.
Yep.
And that is no joke. But it's also the anime that got me back into anime. Thank you, Gammy, for that one.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I am very appreciative because now you have ruined my life forever.
Yes, and now we have now we have podcasts to thank.
Now we have podcast just because of love for anime. So you see, people, this is what you get whenever you have anime. It gives you no purpose in life.
Or all purpose.
Yeah.
No, it's great. It's a tearjerker. It just drills you into the ground with repetitious anxiety.
Coming from somebody who hasn't watched it before, what can you tell me that would grab my attention?
The artwork.
If you love music, yes, the artwork's fantastic. How they animate it is great. The music. If you love music and you love classical music, you know, it's insanely good.
I started
The
listening
scores
to
in
the
it are
classical
great.
music scores from the anime
Yeah.
just to listen to because they are fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was
and,
trying to bring out. Was, I mean, if you could sit here and try to sell it to somebody who's never, like, even somebody who's never seen anime before, just you try to sell it that way, like, sort of like the reading of the back of a book, you know, where they give you the layout as to what's going to happen or what you can expect is going to happen.
Your soul will be crushed.
Soul
Hold on.
crushing is good.
Hold on. Okay, so I don't remember the characters' names all super well.
Give me who you're talking about, and I can hit you with the names. Because the main characters, you got Kosei, the guy, Cowdy, the violinist, and then
Okay.
Watari,
Okay, so-
and fuck, what's her name?
Those are, let's just say that those are the most important characters, aside from the side characters, which also are important, but the friends of, what'd you say, Kosei?
Yep.
Anyway, okay, so basically the synapse here is Kosei is a prodigy pianist As a little kid, he was super famous, as far as incredibly talented, and wins competitions all the time and stuff. Anyway, his mother had a tragic end. He was kind of traumatized by the whole experience of being perfect all the time, and anyway, so instead of playing music competitively or whatever anymore, he composes music for video games or something like that, right, Brad? I don't remember.
Oh,
what he does it for.
For his work, he's transcribes
music.
the notes to sheet music for karaoke and whatnot.
Okay, that's what it is.
Just
Yeah,
by
he
listening to it?
Yes, just by ear.
Yes. Yeah.
Like this
So
kid
he
is
has the
phenomenal.
gift.
Yes, but he no longer plays piano anymore. It is
He can't hear the
doesn't do it.
notes anymore.
He can't. It sounds which is really dramatic once you watch the anime and you see how he feels when he plays. It's,
Like just the anguish and everything it portrays.
yeah,
Oh boy.
the complete I don't want to even call it torment, but like anxiety that he gets from playing the piano that makes him unable to play. Anyway, so he meets this girl. What's her name, Brad?
Cowdy.
Yeah, Cowdy. He meets this girl and he becomes friends with her. He really likes her. Whatever. She kind of they have a rocky first impression, and
It's great.
but they wind up becoming friends. And she plays the violin. She's also beautifully talented, and she knows, or she heard who he is, that he plays piano, that he was this amazing piano player. To break him out of his shell and to help her, she needs an accompanist for a competition that she's competing in, and he barely agrees, if not agrees at all, but he winds up doing it anyway. Problems happen. He struggles, but she sticks with him, and it's kind of the whole show is kind of about him getting over his trauma and her helping him through his trauma and struggling with a complicated love relationship that is tied in knots the entire show.
So it's just the twist of just him fighting with his own anxieties, overcoming his fears, all in the meanwhile of
being in love with this girl and not being able to communicate that to her.
Like the story,
Yeah.
or the anime does a lot of storytelling through music. Like the scores and everything that they play, like you can tell they've been slightly altered to show different emotion.
It's powerful, yeah, and
Yes.
I don't know that firsthand because I'm not familiar enough with the scores played, because it is most of it is not original soundtrack. It is mostly very well-known composers. I'm sure there's plenty of Bach and Beethoven, Wolfgang in there, but either way, like just the way that they convey how he feels and how she feels, especially the accompanist parts of it, like where they just like ebb and flow really beautifully, and then all of a sudden he falls off a cliff, and it's powerful. I think the one thing that the anime struggles with that might bother some people maybe, or annoy some people, is the pacing of the show, because it feels like maybe you might get a lot of the same information repeatedly, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's to help you understand how strongly
You're
he's
saying like it's sort of like meeting.
yeah, it's kind of like Dragon Ball Z style, where they just beat you over the head with the same thing.
Yeah, they hold your hand a lot with it.
Yeah, if you missed it in one episode, you'll see it 17 more times. Which is
In the
You're-
background as I'm doing my daily.
yeah, your mic's doing something weird right now, Eric. But
Yeah, you're kind of cutting in and out.
yeah, I don't know what's going on with your mic, but
Probably the Ethiopian internet.
yeah.
Ethiopian
So
internet.
it does beat you in the face with that, though. Now you could see this problem. It could get kind of annoying, like, oh, okay, we've seen this, like, we understand. But if you stick with it and you kind of like put it into perspective, I think it helps you really feel like maybe it's trying to help you really understand how he's feeling, and to get you more emotionally invested, right? To help you remember why and how he's struggling and how hard it is for him. So maybe it's beating you in the head for that purpose. I'm not sure, but that is something that maybe could get onto some people's nerves.
Yeah, it's just
still having technical difficulties.
slightly, but it's slightly better.
Yeah. No,
Just 1 second. I gotta take care of something real quick.
yeah. We're still gonna talk about this though, but it does a good job making you feel in it, or almost forcing you to give a shit about it.
Yeah, because
You
it's
know.
just like the character development is so powerful that even if it sits there and repeats things over and over again, I guess it just drives that feeling home more.
Yeah, totally. And there is a significant character development, of course. You know, it's so slow though. At the same time, it's like, you know, when you think you're progressing, you start regressing.
Yeah, because
And-
as soon as he starts to grow, it's just boom, he goes back.
Yeah, something happens and he starts to fall backwards again. And that's the cool thing about the show too, is like, you know, like a lot of times you feel like he's hopeless.
It's like he's not gonna figure it out.
Yeah, because you know you feel like he comes close so many times, like, oh, he's gonna make a breakthrough, and then he completely falls apart, and which is pretty great. By the end of the show, that makes it, you know, like, oh well, you know, it makes it more powerful that he accomplishes something when he has struggled the entire show to do so.
Yeah, because by the time he comes around to actually accomplishing it and getting through, because those last 2 episodes where you finally see him overcome everything is also like the just most emotionally draining part of that whole anime.
Yeah, and I can't give anything away but there is more to the story than just this part that we're talking about. But the other part of the story, I don't want to give away or talk about, just because it needs to come as you need to be blind about it. You need to not know about this part or this segment of it. It's insanely emotional.
It's one of those things that if you were to know about it beforehand, it really wouldn't have the impact.
Well,
I don't
because you kind of see it coming, I guess.
Yeah.
But
It's
still, whenever it happens, it's like you literally just got kicked in the dick.
Yeah, and there's still more to learn, even. You know what I mean? Like, there's still more after it. So it's just a big deal. It's like don't fuka yourself. You know, like I did. Even
I like the reference. I do like the reference.
Thank you. Don't fuka yourself.
But that truly is like a really good way to put it, though, because like I didn't know anything about like, you know, getting off topic to Fuka, but I had no clue about anything until I had looked up one of the songs on YouTube. It was like chapter 65, and I was like, chapter 65, what? So I just picked up the manga. And after watching the anime to its entirety and then picking up the manga, I was like, I wonder how much different it's going to be. And it follows it to a T.
Until a certain point.
Yeah, and then once you get to chapter 65, it's like getting run over by a bus.
Definitely. You see, I made the mistake of like starting the anime, and then I get like really invested in like wanting to know what's going on in the future of the anime through the manga, right? So like, I want to know how much further they are in the manga compared to the anime. You know what I mean? Like, I just do that, and I literally fuck myself watching the show because I found things out that I wasn't supposed to know, and then I was really confused after I watched the show why those things didn't happen.
Okay,
And
so let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Um, for everybody listening and for myself one more time, how many episodes are there?
23.
Yeah, there's
Okay,
23.
and how far ahead is the manga, and are we expecting more episodes to
I've
come out?
never. I,
No,
no,
we're-
no, I don't know. I don't know anything about the manga, honestly, in this show.
I have read the manga to completion. There is no more. It's 11 volumes, and it covers it. It covers Your Lie in April to a T. However, what I will say, from my, just from a manga perspective, I'm not going to say the manga's better, but even though it is a book, and all it is images on a page, it still does just as phenomenal of a job telling the story that the show does without having to use any words or without
So
having to
people
actually
who-
visualize it.
People who would enjoy reading more than they would watching it could still get the same effect from the manga. And
You
the TV
could.
show's
Like,
gonna
it's
be
still-
run along the same lines.
Like, you still
Yeah.
get all the motions and the impactfulness, but just actually being able to hear the soundtrack and the compositions and everything is, like
Yeah,
I say,
it really
it's
helps
life-changing, but
drive,
it's
it helps
very good.
drive the narrative.
Yeah, it does. It helps the, story along great.
Yeah. So you're not missing anything, I guess. If you prefer to read manga, read the manga. If you prefer to watch the anime, watch the anime.
I'd say
you're
you
not
can
gonna miss
definitely,
anything.
do both. But back on the Fuka note, you can, I can definitely say with it, after watching the anime to where it is and having read the manga to its complete completion because it's done now, I love the manga so much more. The characters they introduce and the storytelling that's there's so much more to it. And I'm
Right.
really sad that they went the direction that they did with the show.
See, I'm not, but of course I didn't read the manga. I'm not against reading manga. I just prefer to have a visual and sound aid, especially in a show like Fuka, what is just like Your Lie in April, that is focused so much around music.
Mm.
And so to be able to hear the soundtracks from those are some of my favorite songs in that show are from the Hedgehog,
Oh yeah,
Like,
and that's
the
why whenever I
Hedgehog's-
found that other song, that Wings of Light song, I had to
Yeah, you
send it
sent
to
it
you
to me.
because he
Yeah.
is going to absolutely love this, because whenever the way that song is played out in the manga is you just sit there and itch to hear it, and we're never going to get the opportunity to, and that really that makes me sad, the other two songs that are in it that I'll never get to hear. But Wings of Light, I am beyond ecstatic that I actually got to finally hear it, because it's just as phenomenal as the show made it out to be.
Right, yeah. But that's the thing too, though, is I like to hear it and not have to go on YouTube later and listen to something made for a graphic novel. But I mean, like I said, to each their own. If you really enjoy that, that's cool. I'm not opposed to reading manga. Like I said, I've read some manga before. I have Dragon Ball Z on my shelf. Thank you, Brad.
Kawaii desu.
And so but I really did love the music, and I love the music in Your Lie in April. And I think it really drives home the whole thing. I'm very I'm a visual learner, but I'm all about the audio too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, which with Your Lie in April, the audio just made the show. The visuals were for a weekly show. At one point, I'm assuming it dropped weekly. That had some of the most stellar animation I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It is it's really beautiful, and it's not just the animation itself, but also the style.
Oh yeah, it's very just well put together and well done.
It's one thing to have high profile animation or quality animation. I don't know how they do it, to be honest with you. I don't know anything about animating, but it also the shots, because that's a big thing too. It's not just how rendered the images are or anything, but it's about how the shots are taken. You know, in what perspectives the shots are taken. You know.
And usually CGI in anime is extremely overdone, but this was just like
I've never gotten used to the CGI. I still haven't, and I don't think I ever will. I think the only show that I enjoyed the CGI in it, and it was because I was much younger, was Zoids. But that was probably the only show that I've ever been able to watch that had CGI in it.
You see, I just thought the CGI for this was perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to step away for a second. Of course, family stuff.
Yeah.
Life.
But yeah,
So you're
Zoids.
talking about Zoids?
I was talking about that. The only animation that I was able to watch and enjoy with CGI in it was Zoids. Yeah.
See, I
Not
just,
only that,
like,
but I was actually able to enjoy both series that they had. I mean, there was 2 different storylines that they had.
Yeah. I mean, the Zoids. I love Zoids. Like the Zoids all have a special place in my heart. Yeah, both series. But what I'm mainly talking about though is just the CGI aspect, like the animation aspect of it, not necessarily the show.
I just feel like this show couldn't have pulled off what it did without the CGI, though. And that's why the CGI fit it, like, perfectly.
What in Your Line April?
Yes.
There's CGI.
All the piano scenes and everything, all of that was CGI.
I think there was even some in a couple of other animes that we've gone over.
Well, that's impressive. Then we talk about it because I didn't even notice. You know, it's been a little while since I've rewatched Your Line April, because I don't. Did Sarah? Did you watch Your Line April with me? You did. Yeah, I guess I don't either remember that or I didn't even notice it. And if I didn't notice it, it's that good.
Yeah, because you, like, I know you're not one much for re-watching things, but this anime is definitely one that can be rewatched.
Oh yeah, like I like rewatching things, but I like to give myself plenty of time to forget things.
Like,
You know
this
what I
is
mean?
one
Like,
of those that I, like, regularly, like, every year in April, just because it's April, just rewatch
Oh yeah, it's my birthday month too, so.
it. Yeah.
Happy birthday to me, through anime.
Just
but,
a few months late for anime.
Yeah, but you know, I just like to give myself some time to forget, especially this story, because there are going to be aspects of the story that you can't unsee. You know what I mean? Like you can't, you know, there are going to be elements of the story that you're like, oh, okay, I kind of forgot about that. But like this story specifically, like there's some key moments in the story that are unforgettable, and I mean, although it's great to watch it more than once, it kind of destroys that the same feeling that you're going to get from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like even now, it's still like it makes like your heart curl up, but it's not nearly as like you're
Bad
gonna
as the
cry
first time
today
you watch
and
it.
you're gonna like it.
Yeah, the first time you watch it, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, and for me, it happened twice. Like I don't know about you, but there are 2 parts that just absolutely destroyed me.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, I agree with you 100%. That's why I turned you on to it. That's why I was like, Brad, have you? We started talking about anime, and I'm like, Brad, have you seen this anime that's on Netflix? And you're like, no. I'm like, you must watch this. So technically, I watched it twice within like a 2-month span, or whatever, because we watched it together again.
Did we watch it together again? Because I think we
Well,
watched like an
you watched
episode,
it-
and then you're like, you're gonna go home and you're gonna watch this weekend.
Oh, is that what happened? Because
Yeah.
I remember starting it with you and like getting into it or whatever. I didn't remember if we watched it all of it together. I guess.
No, because
I assume we did. We
you
did.
had watched it, or you might have started it, and then you're like, I'm going to start this over with you so you can watch it, and then once you start
okay.
it, you're not going to want to put it down. And you
Yeah, which
were
is what
100% correct. Like, I did not stop to put it down at all.
No, it's challenging. Just because it's that freaking good, and
Yeah, like, I binged that shit in, like, 2 days. And
Yeah.
it was not
So if
even
you
hard
like-
to binge.
this is not an action anime. This is not for someone who's looking for a Dragon Ball Z or they're looking for a One Punch Man. You're not going to find any of that here. Which, let me tell you something, is if you don't venture out that way, do yourself a favor and venture out that way. because the anime scene is flooded with action anime. And although that's wonderful and excellent, we get a lot of crap on top of it.
Yep.
And the industry gets flooded with a bunch of very mediocre action anime. And a lot of times, like, I want to start a new anime, and I go and look, and it's a bunch of action anime. And as much as I like action anime, it really turns me off. And because I also like slice of life, and I won't lie about that. You know, I like drama and stuff like that. You know, and this is the not so chick flick of anime. You know, like give it a chance.
It deserves every bit of a chance. No joke.
Yeah. Just don't be turned off. Don't be turned off with the fact that it doesn't have a lot of action or something in it. You know, like, if it's not your thing, do yourself a favor and venture out and watch this. Give it a shot. I think it's a great introduction anime to even people who do not like anime, because it can show that it can tell a story that people can be invested in and not be overwhelmed by the I must defeat you, and oh, we defeated him. You know, like that whole narrative of, you know, that some people get annoyed with anime and that can't get past.
Anime, the way they did Speed Racer.
Yeah, but you know, I've talked to friends here recently, actually, or a coworker of mine, who that's his problem with anime, is that every time he watches an anime that is action-packed, you know, like I try to get him to watch like Tokyo Ghoul and things like that, and he can't get past that whole feeling of like old, like, 90s animation, like, you know, like just kind of corny, I will defeat you, we will fight kind of thing. And you know, but so it's good for people who don't like that, and that's what their problem is with anime, is that they don't like the action, and maybe they feel like it's corny or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of it is like people still just associate it with things like, you know, like you said, like the 90s style and humor and everything, and there's so much good anime out there right now that has absolutely nothing to do with any of that. There still is, and some of that's still really good.
Right, and like that's the thing with animation, that I'm sure if you're watching this podcast, of course, you probably already watch anime, so I would assume so, but at the same time, it can be for everyone as much as they want to deny it. And as much as people want to hate on it and call them cartoons or whatever it is, anime can tell stories that live action simply cannot. And you're missing that. Like, you're doing yourself such a super injustice by ignoring the ability of storytelling that anime can give. And you know, and the animes like this is a reason why you should try it. You should, or get someone started on something like this. You know, like they might kick and scream, but like just like, hey, just watch this. Just watch this.
Yeah, because the time that like by the time it's all done, like they won't even need the duct tape. But that's what it was with me, because I had given up on anime at this point, and then once you had started working with me, it was like right after, like, you and I had started working together. It's like, dude, like, you like anime? I was like, I haven't. Like, at that point, I hadn't watched it since fucking early middle school.
Right.
And you're like, just give this one a try. It's like, I promise you, it'll be worth it. And it was definitely worth it.
100%. And it's things like that, you know. I try to stress this all the time, because like I get, you know, sometimes as an anime watcher, you'll get shit for watching anime, but like that's the thing, is like, you know, there are going to be uncomfortable portions too of watching anime, you know, especially if like a lot of animation style like to do this whole fan service thing, even though it's not a fan service anime, you know what I mean? Like they'd like to do like these awkward crotch shots, or like these awkward titty jiggle physics.
Yeah, it's anime tropes.
It is not for the plot. It is so far from the plot. It is absolutely nothing to do with the plot. Which, I mean, and it's okay. Like just ignore that. If it's not your thing, that's fine. Like but the thing is, like, anime doesn't circle itself around that unless you're watching a fan service anime, which you should be aware of the subgenres of anime. You know what I mean? Like, if you know what you like and you know what you don't like, you know, avoid those subgenres. But you know, like there's just
We
some.
know
There's
what
just.
you're trying to say.
I know it just really bugs me. It just like I don't know why I have to stick this point. It's just like I feel like people are doing themselves such, you know, especially people who love media or love storytelling, and they're like taken away from themselves by ignoring something that they could really like, they could really freaking enjoy. And some of the best storytelling I've ever seen in my life has been in anime. Like, you know, like they just it's amazing what they can convey and the kind of emotions and things they can do with art that real people can't do. You know, you can't film people shooting energy lasers, okay, and it not look corny as hell. Okay, you just. But in anime, it feels natural. It just feels like, you know, or, you know, the whole scene. There's a scene. I hate to spoil anything, but there's a scene in Your Lie in April where the main character is playing the piano and he's being an accompanist for the female lead, and he stops hearing the notes, and he's struggling to keep up the entire time. He stops hearing the notes, and all of a sudden they're just thuds. They're just thuds of the key hitting the board. Just thud, 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 and all of a sudden he's sinking underwater, and like the piano and him, and he's sinking, and bubbles are coming from the piano, and bubbles are coming from his mouth. And he can't breathe, and he can't think, and he can't hear anything, and he's drowning. And then he's on stage, just completely destroying himself. But in his head, he's underwater. You cannot do that scene in real life.
No, you cannot. And there's a live action Your Lie in April film, and I've been tempted just to watch it, just to see like how they even attempted to try to cross that over into like just see how it's going to be portrayed, because Lionsgate is working on a live adaptation to Your Name.
Okay, I just want to say this. I just want to say this now.
That's gonna be a good.
I just want to say this now. Now, you guys who are watching this can correct me if I'm wrong, but I have never seen a bad Lionsgate film. That's probably one of my personal favorite or producer, or I don't know what they do. You know what I'm saying? Companies that make films. Lionsgate always makes sweet films.
I've got a lot of favorites, and I've got a lot of. I mean, I'm not going to go against producers or anything like that, because I mean, Lionsgate's made a ton of good movies, but you know, every producer and every, you know, maker of movies, I don't even know what I'm trying to say out there, but everyone's got their hiccups, okay? I would say Lionsgate's got to have something out there that you don't like.
You're right, it does, the Twilight Saga.
There you go. There you go. I rest my case. I think this that about sums it up for today.
But you know,
Yeah,
it's,
but you know,
like, I don't know. It's just whenever it comes to live action adaptations, like, nobody just does good anime live action adaptations, except for Dragon Ball Evolution. We all know it's the greatest gift to mankind that there ever has been.
Have you guys seen Goemon?
Nope.
no.
Okay, it's a live adaptation of Sengoku Basara. And if you guys, I mean, I think you've only seen a couple of episodes of it, but from what I've tried to introduce to you, if you get an opportunity to finish Sengoku Basara, then go watch Goemon. Goemon it wraps up the entirety of Sengoku Basara into one live-action film, because it's, you know, Sengoku Basara is a whole bunch of episodes based solely off of the Imperial Wars back in the day of Japan, and all the different nations that were fighting against each other to create their main empire. And then when you get Goemon, it focuses solely on one character that is going through this era, and you get to meet all of these people who played and portrayed it. And it just, to me, yeah, there's corny parts of it, because I mean, what live action anime, you know, a live action film based off of an anime is not going to be a little corny. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I feel like that's something I want to pass from me to you, since you guys have been passing a lot of good anime from yourselves to me.
Right. Yeah, I need to. Like, I'm so backed up with anime and like having the time to watch anything I really want to watch right now. Especially since Funimation, the Funimation app is like giving me hell right now.
And it's one of those things too, to where I will, you know, not trying to vouch for Crunchyroll or anything like that, but their app, I've never had any issues with it to where, like,
Well, neither
if
have
something's
I.
on Funimation, like, I will try to find it anywhere else, but just because I hate dealing with the app and just how it runs and how they maintain it.
Yeah, because it's sometimes it's pitiful. Which I agree. I agree 100%. The only problem I have is like if there's an English dub, I'm gonna watch it. I have no problem watching subtitles. I have no problem watching subbed. I enjoy watching subbed. Okay, Parasite. I watched all of Parasite subbed. You know, I watched all of Tokyo Ghoul subbed. You know, stuff like that. But if there's an English version, I'm gonna do myself a favor because guess what? I can do other things while I watch it. I don't have to give it my 100%. You know, 100% attention. You know, I can do something while I'm watching it and I can listen. But there are exceptions to that I don't mind. Especially the one we talked about earlier, Brad. What is it? The Never.
The Promised Neverland.
Yes, Promised Neverland. Yeah, like that one. It just, you know, I pause every time I have to do something. You know, every time I pick up my drink, I pause that show. But on that
note,
that's why I like to use
show.
Funimation, though. Yes, but I like to watch Funimation just because I enjoy having the option to watch the English dub.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, if I can, it makes it easier. But oh, and on that note, though, Crunchyroll, as long as it's not something brand new, Crunchyroll is updating their dub library a lot.
That's good news. They should, because they have a solid app. They have a solid app, and I don't know why Funimation, for a company that's been around for so long, like why are they struggling with this like modern technology? I don't understand. Not to hate on you, Funimation, but get your shit together.
Yeah, because we love you. I'd obviously pay you good money every month, especially since the price of your subscription service is going up. So I pay you bitches good money, so keep it together.
Yeah.
Because
And
Funimation is getting a tiered system now. I don't know if you know that or not.
No.
So
Why?
these,
For what?
the version that you and I have, it basically stays the same, but instead of only having two screens that we can view at one time, we get 5. Like, our price stays the same as long as we keep it. Like, if we ever run out on it and we have to renew it, the price of the package that we have will go up.
Oh, so we're grandfathered in.
Yeah, so we're grandfathered into this one. There's a higher tier where you get more screens and like better discounts in the store and everything, and then there's a lower tier to where it's like, I think you get slightly less resolution. I think you get like 720p, and you only get 2 screens that can watch at the same time.
That's ridiculous. 720p.
Yeah, and for something like your line, April, you need 1080, if not 4K.
You know what they need? They need just to change all that, right? And like instead give me a higher tier where I can watch the crap they're trying to sell me, right? Like you guys have dubbed the Broly movie. Let me watch it.
To where you get the films.
Let me watch it.
Yeah, no. See, that's the difference, though. I don't get the film. I get the ability to watch the film. Know what I mean?
Oh, I'm right there with you. Yeah, there definitely should be an option for. Oh yeah, by the way, Eric, get your ass in here and look at my finished statue, bitch.
On my way. Let me get back to the house so I can save this bad boy.
I'm finishing up the game right now, so that way we can play it and wrap this thing up.
I just want to say that Sarah's being a animal right now in Minecraft.
She's gonna get addicted.
This is her very first time ever playing this game, and she is a champion right now.
I'm proud of her. She's made a lot of big moves this week.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, because what, last week she went and played golf with us.
Oh yeah. Did you tell her about the tournament?
No, I haven't got a chance to tell her yet. I told Justin though, because I was asking about her, about his. I was like, I'm gonna call Tony and ask him if he wants to do it.
Yeah. Apparently that kid was well known in the area, especially since you know who his father is.
Well,
Ew.
I'm just saying, there's so many freaking Ledfords in the world, especially in Bradley County, that I can't keep up with which Ledfords I know and which ones I don't.
Well, he was the son
Got
of
a
Don
point.
Ledford, the owner of the dealership at the end of the town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Don was there today too, and I didn't to me clearly.
That
it
makes
was
sense
Don.
with the hole-in-one prize is a car,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that makes sense.
But I definitely, it's not one of those times where I could look at him and be like, hey, could you give me a good EPR, a brand new car?
By the way, you're in a doctor's outfit or a nurse's outfit or a doctor. You're scrubbed in right now. Yeah, clicking your joystick. Click it in again.
Did you put me in?
Yeah.
Instead of being the yellow Power Ranger.
Well, she's the yellow Power Ranger in the other world before we join yours.
Oh no, the skin stays the same across all worlds. So
Yeah, it
she's still in
didn't.
the. So she should still be in the.
Yeah,
Yellow
but
Power Ranger.
we played the temporary one.
No, like as
Yeah,
long as
you
it's
play it until you
unlocked,
back
it should
out.
be
When you
fine.
play
Yeah,
It's
you have all
texture
the
packs
stats.
that change.
No, I put her in the Adventure Time world.
Oh, okay. I mean, if he doesn't own the world, then it'll as soon as you back
It
out of
doesn't
it
say
for the
No,
first time
nothing.
playing
that's
it.
the yellow Power Ranger texture pack or skin
Yeah.
anyway.
Really, because on our screen that is not what I'm wearing.
That's what it looks like on my end.
This is the pack.
Unless it's the clothes, unless it's just the clothes that I'm wearing on top of the skin.
Yeah, like that's armor that you're
Yeah.
wearing.
Oh, I see.
So if you were to take off the diamond armor, you would be
I'd be in the
the
Yellow
skin.
Ranger. Okay.
Yeah. Tis the thing. And by the way, Code, I sent you a finished picture of Rim since I know Sarah's over there building.
I'm almost done. I'm actually back at the house now, just dropping everything.
Oh, dude, that looks great.
Thanks, man.
That
It makes me
blue
really want to go
pops.
watch ReZero.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to watch more of it. If I don't know how far they got into it, but I feel like they were releasing episodes and they just quit.
Well, you see, the second half was supposed to release as soon as the part 2 DVD dropped, and we still haven't gotten it because Funimation is being Funimation.
Hey,
Again,
Senpai, send it to me
Funimation.
again.
We love you, but get your shit together.
Yep. You
But-
you have some of the best voices in the industry, so do something with them.
Yeah, Chris Abbott, you have the best voice actor, or the English voice actor.
Yes, you have so many characters.
The voice actress who did Zero Two needs to do more, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to listen to him, but I'm sure he does. Or she.
Yeah, definitely she.
You
It's
know.
just not that I've like that's one voice to where I feel like I haven't picked up on as much. So she needs
Yeah,
more
it's just
projects.
like-
Hire her for more.
Well, it's just like, like I didn't, for the longest time, I didn't realize that Luffy was voiced by a female.
See, I haven't watched One Piece to know because I keep getting told don't do it because it's such a huge commitment.
It is a man. It is. Yeah.
Although, then
it's
again,
good.
With
It's
the
good,
amount,
but
go ahead.
it's good, but it's massive. But I mean, it's not like something we haven't done before. I mean, I stuck through all of Naruto, and it was well worth it. Look, I can't speak for any other anime except for Dragon Ball Z, unless you were a '90s kid or whatever it is. You like Dragon Ball Z, of course you're gonna love it. But Naruto, let me tell you, Shippuden, the last 500 episodes of Naruto are absolutely insane. And if watch it.
Just watch it.
Yeah, stick with it. Oh my God, stick with it, because Jesus Christ, it's probably one of my favorite shonen series of all time.
We here at the Let's Party Up YouTube channel, and also the newly affiliated Brad Carter Gaming Twitch channel, fully support you watching Naruto. Do it. Do yourself a favor and do it. Do it.
Yeah, you haven't already. Yeah, and if you're like, oh, I need to finish it, just stop saying it and do it.
That's massive.
Yeah, what's your point?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Put down everything.
She kind of towers over everything.
Look, think about it this way. Put down everything you're watching right now, finish that, and by the time you come back, you'll have a bunch of seasons of your favorite anime to watch. Because
oh yeah, that's
how long
true,
it's gonna
because
take you to
it'll
finish
take you about that long.
Yeah. I think it took me to finish 500 episodes of Shippuden. I think it took me...
It took you a few
6
months. Yeah, because I was going to say, every time I talk to you, you're like, I'm still watching Naruto, I don't have time for anything else.
Yeah, because I couldn't. I could not. Because I knew as soon as I jumped out of Naruto, I'd have to rewatch something. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that the story is so dense that I knew that if I did, I would have to... I'd have to rewatch parts of it. And I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to just get it done and over with, which sounds like a chore. It wasn't. It was highly enjoyable.
See, at some point, I will get around to it. It's just my queue is daunting as it is.
Yeah, growing every day.
I still haven't finished Anohana, and there's not a lot of episodes of it. It's just this week I've been dealing with so much shit from trying to, for one, get affiliated, so I accomplished that, and then two, just trying to keep up with a streaming schedule that I should keep.
Right,
it's just,
yeah.
ugh,
Yeah, you
so
have
much.
fans, man. You gotta keep up with that.
Oh yeah, fans, yeah. Not just kidding. I love each and every one of you. You're all very precious to me. And ding 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 ding, it's time. It's time for the game of 2 truths and a lie. But instead of 2 truths and a lie, it's 2 real headlines and a fake. You guys ready for this?
Oh yeah.
If I can actually read my fucking handwriting. Florida man arrested for painting anti-Hillary messages on Tampa Bay crabs. Arizona man tried to rob GameStop while wearing a transparent bag on his head. Tennessee man gets into argument with himself, gets violent, and shoots himself in the testicles. Which one is
Tennessee
it?
man. The Tennessee man. It's either either Tennessee man or the crabs.
Okay, wait, no, before he reveals, I have got to plead my case on this.
I'm waiting.
We actually had roll call on Tuesday, and it was explained to us that somebody had shot themselves in the area because he was attempting to kill a snake that didn't exist. And let me tell you, he hit the snake.
Oh, okay. Then it's the crabs. It's the crabs.
I would say the one that is not true would be the clear plastic bag in Arizona. I believe the Florida man.
Crabs.
Actually, you're both wrong, Koda. You should have stuck with what you said.
I knew Eric was full of shit.
Because because
I
I literally made that up. I literally just made that up off the top of my head. I was like, this is going to be so outlandish that they'll probably believe it's true. But no, Eric, you ruined it for yourself.
No, I'm not ruining it because that literally happened on Monday, and we got told about it on Tuesday morning. It was about 10 p.m. and it was off of Mouse Creek Road. Apparently,
Hey,
this
whoa,
56-year-old man.
Hey, whoa, no. There's probably information in this that you probably should not legally leak.
Yep, probably
Well,
not.
legally, I can tell you where it's at, but I can't tell you exactly. Nobody here's really going to know exactly where that's at.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's stuff that can be found.
It's
Coming
probably
from
it's
somebody who does
Don't
this
tell
for
me-
a living, I
don't
can
tell me
legally tell
anything that you
locations, I can
can't-
tell you-
hey, I want to tell. I want to remind you of something too, though. Is last time you said that you were legally allowed to do something, you got in trouble. So,
Ding.
so,
We'll go
so
over that here in a minute, but I'm telling you right now, as long as I don't give out names and dates. Well, I gave out a date, but it wasn't really that. Fuck this.
Okay,
Just-
so tell you
just-
what. Tell me everything that you could tell the media.
Okay, a man shot himself in the genitals trying to kill a snake. It happened on Monday in the area of Bradley County. Does that sound fine? That's
Yes.
exactly what I would say to the media.
So
No
while you're at it,
specific
why don't you also
information.
tell me age, sex, and location? Because I'm curious. ASL
I'll
me,
tell you
Eric.
that information. ASL you?
ASL me.
Dude, I hadn't heard that since AOL.
I haven't either since like Omegle was huge because that was the shit.
But it legit happened. He used a 9mm Ruger, and it went through and through. Bleeding was minimal. I'm pretty sure he's not going to reproduce, though. Thank you, Jesus.
yeah, but you know, there's not a lot of tissue to get through.
There's really not. There's a lot of air there, or a lot of, you know,
Sponge, cartilage material.
I mean, still, I'm not worried too much about the injury as much as I am as to if he's going to be that much of a moron, if he's going to be able to reproduce.
Yeah, but maybe it was drug induced.
It was,
Possibly.
as far as we know.
it's Bradley
But
County, so
the
drugs were
investigation- the
most likely
investigation is still
involved.
open, so I wouldn't be able to tell you until they actually come up with a definitive idea. So, I mean, he ended up going to the hospital. He survived, but there's no telling like how it happened or why it happened. But there was no secondary snake. There was just his snake, and he ended up shooting his own snake.
Well,
Snake?
how-
Snake! Snake! And that wraps it up for this podcast. So, to everybody watching live, thank you very much. I love you. It is very much appreciated. To everybody watching it post, please type in the chat how much you hate Eric for never showing up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a great evening. Matane oyasumi.